My mom hid my twins' engagement from me because I bring tension. I found out through tagged photos while I was still sending family money every month. So I finally gave them what they wanted. Hey, Reddit. So this isn't one of those dramatic movie-style stories, just something real that's been sitting on my chest for a while. Let's just say family loyalty hits different when you realize you were the only one showing it. I'm not here for pity or advice. Just want to tell how it all played out when I finally stopped chasing people who were perfectly fine pretending I didn't exist. Alright, so I Josh, 28 male guy living in Seattle working as an architect. It's fine. It pays the bills and keeps me busy. My family's back in Dallas. Mom, Dad, my twin sister Lily, and our younger brother Ryan. Growing up, Lily and I were basically attached at the hip. She was the talker, the social one, the person who'd make friends with a brick wall if it looked lonely enough. I was more of the quiet type. The kid who spent hours building Lego houses while she was out performing concerts in the backyard. Even though we were total opposites, we had that twin thing. Same weird sense of humor, same looks, same us versus the world kind of bond. Back then, I really thought nothing could come between us. After college, I got a job offer in Seattle that felt too good to pass up. Lily stayed in Dallas, got into marketing, and Ryan, who was still in school at the time, just kind of floated around figuring life out. I'd fly home for every major thing. Holidays, birthdays, even random family dinners if flights weren't stupid expensive. I didn't want distance to turn into disconnect. For a while it worked, but slowly it started changing. Calls turned into texts. Texts turned into short replies, and then even those started getting delayed. You know how you can feel when something's off before anyone says it? Yeah, that conversations got weirdly polite, like I was talking to coworkers instead of family. Mom would guilt trip me about forgetting where I came from 1 minute, and then ghost me for weeks the next. Then came the day that confirmed I wasn't imagining it. I was eating lunch at work when my phone started blowing up with Instagram tags. I opened it, and there it was, a full-blown baby shower for Ryan. The dude had a baby on the way, and nobody told me. Not only that, but the whole extended family was there. My stomach dropped. Like, not even a, hey, just so you know, Ryan had a baby, nothing. At first, I thought maybe it was a surprise event and they'd tell him later. But no, the photos kept rolling in. There was Mom smiling next to Abner that literally said, "Welcome, baby Nolan." I was sitting there like an idiot, scrolling through proof that apparently everything didn't include me. I called Mom straight to voicemail, texted Lily, "When did this happen?" She replied 2 hours later with, "Oh yeah, sorry. It was kind of last minute. We didn't think you'd fly all the way down for a baby shower, right?" Because hopping on a flight to celebrate my brother becoming a dad would have been too much. When I finally got Mom on the phone, she said, "You live too far away. We didn't want to bother you with short notice." That's the thing. They always use that line. Didn't want to bother you. As if I was some stranger with a fragile schedule instead of their son. The next few weeks, I started noticing other weird stuff. Every time Lily or Mom posted family photos, I was either missing or cropped out. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm serious. One picture literally had my shoulder in the corner like I was photobombing my own family. At first I laughed it off, told myself it was just bad framing. But then I noticed they'd edit captions too. All me favorite people in one place or family dinner night. Meanwhile, I just visited 2 weeks earlier and apparently didn't make the cut. Ryan texted me once saying, "Don't take it personal, man. You know how Mom gets." Which, yeah, I don't know how Mom gets. She's been running that family like a one-woman production company since forever. You play your part, keep your mouth shut, and everything stays normal. But I guess moving away means I missed a few rehearsals because suddenly I wasn't part of the show anymore. After that, I stopped reaching out so much. I figured if they wanted me involved, they'd make the effort. I literally found out my nephew was here from another Facebook post. I couldn't shake this feeling that something bigger was happening behind the scenes. Like they were slowly rewriting the story and erasing my part in it. And the messed up part, they were good at it. By the time summer rolled around, my existence in that family was basically optional. But I wasn't done yet, not even close. Because if they wanted to act like I wasn't part of the family anymore, I figured I'd give them exactly what they wanted and see how quiet things got when I stopped pretending to. Didn't realize $2,000 was the same as disappearing. Guess I was about to find out. A couple months after the whole baby shower fiasco, things went quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that isn't peaceful. It's just people pretending everything's fine while sweeping the weird stuff under the rug. I didn't reach out much, but I still checked in occasionally, sent texts, simple stuff like, "How's the baby doing?" Or "How's Dad feeling?" Half the time I'd get one-word answers, and the other half I'd get left unread. Then, one random Thursday morning, I was scrolling through Instagram before work and saw it. Lily's engagement post. Picture-perfect shot of her and her fiancé Tyler in front of some overpriced vineyard. Caption read, "Forever starts now." No call, no text, no heads up. Just a shiny ring and a hashtag. I texted her right away. "Congratulations. When's the engagement party?" "I'll fly down." She replied a few hours later. Thanks, we're still planning it. I'll let you know, for sure. Simple, polite, but something about it felt off. It was that same fake friendly tone people use when they want you to stop asking questions. Weeks passed. No updates, no dates, nothing. Then one afternoon, I got a message from my cousin Emma. She's the only person in the family who still talks to me like a normal human being. She wrote, "Hey, are you coming to Lily's engagement party tomorrow?" I stared at my screen for a full minute. I thought she was joking. I replied, "Wait, what party?" She sent a picture. It was an invitation card, gold lettering, fancy font, venue name printed across the top. Engagement celebration, Lily and Tyler, Saturday, 7:00 p.m. I didn't even bother replying. I just sat there scrolling through the text again, trying to convince myself it wasn't real. The next day, I woke up to my feed, flooded with posts from that same event. Lily in a white dress, mom crying happy tears, a slideshow projected on a wall showing family memories. Anniler giving a speech about how family means everything, except apparently not me. 80 people, family, friends, cousins, old neighbors, everyone from Dallas. And not one person thought it was weird I wasn't there except Emma. She texted me again later that night. "Everyone's asking why you didn't show. Mom said you couldn't make it." I typed back, "That's funny. I wasn't invited." A few minutes later she replied, "What? Are you serious?" Dead serious. Apparently, word spread fast. By morning, I had a couple relatives messaging me things like, "Sorry you couldn't make it. We missed you. And your speech was so nice last time. I thought you'd do one for Lily, too." One uncle even called me confused. "You didn't fly down?" He asked. "Your mom said you were too busy with work." I said flatly, "Yeah, that's what she tells people when she doesn't want me around." Then I hung up. That night, I called Mom. She answered, sounding all chipper like nothing was wrong. "Hey, sweetie, how's Seattle?" I didn't bother easing into it. Why wasn't I invited to Lily's engagement party? There was a pause. I could almost hear her blink through the phone. "What are you talking about?" "You know exactly what I'm talking about," I said. 80 people, a whole restaurant, balloons, speeches. "You posted pictures, Mom." She gave this little fake laugh. "Oh, that it was just a small dinner. Nothing formal. Small dinner." "You rented a venue," I said. Her tone shifted fast, like she was offended. I caught her lying. "You're being dramatic, Josh. You live so far away, it didn't make sense to spend money on another plane ticket. You've already been home, plenty?" "Plenty," I said. "I was home for Ryan's graduation, Dad's surgery, and Christmas. How's that plenty?" "You always make everything about you," she snapped. "This was Lily's day. We didn't want any tension." I almost laughed. "Tension? You mean the part where you decided I don't exist anymore?" "Don't talk to me like that," she said sharply. "You have a good life up there. You're doing well. You don't need to be part of every little thing. You decided to leave." "Yeah," I said. "Apparently, I just need to fund them." That shut her up for a second, because here's the thing. About a month before that party, she'd called saying Dad's dialysis bills were piling up. She sounded frantic. I wired her a couple grand that same day. Said it was for medical stuff. Turns out medical stuff meant party decorations and catering. It found that out because Tyler's cousin posted a picture of Lily holding a microphone, thanking everyone for helping. Right there in the caption, someone commented, "Big thanks to your brother for covering part of the costs." That was so nice of him. I just stared at it, not even mad, just done. Later, when I brought it up to Mom, she said, "Don't twist things. It all goes to family expenses in the end." "Yeah," I said, "and somehow I'm the only one paying those expenses." She sighed like she was the victim. "You always have to turn something good into a fight. We did what we had to. You wouldn't understand unless you were here." "Oh, I understand perfectly," I said. "You used my money to throw a party I wasn't invited to, and now I'm the problem because I noticed." She gasped like I just cursed at her, then hung up on me. I didn't call back. That was the night I realized I wasn't family to them anymore. I was AirSource, a wallet that happened to have emotions. And the crazy part, they didn't even see anything wrong with it. Lily texted me 2 days later saying, "Mom said, you're upset. I hope you know it wasn't personal. It was just easier this way." Easier. That word stuck in my head. Easier to cut me out, easier to leave, easier to pretend. But sure, I was the one being dramatic. Apparently, I'm invited to pay, not to attend. After that realization, something in me just switched off. No dramatic movie moment, no breakdown, just silence. I stopped texting, stopped calling. The group chat stayed muted. Birthdays came and went without my happy birthday text. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty about it. I was done. 2 weeks into my quiet protest, I actually started sleeping better. Seattle felt calmer. Work was smooth. I had a big residential project near the waterfront that was getting local buzz. My boss told me clients liked my designs because they felt like they belonged to real people, which was funny considering my own family treated me like an NPC. Then it happened. It was a Saturday morning. I'd just gotten back from my usual run and was halfway through making breakfast when my phone started blowing up. Mom, 3 missed calls. Then a text popped up. Call me now. It's Dad. He had a stroke. Everything inside me froze. I called instantly. She answered on the first ring, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. Josh! Oh my God, it's your father. It's bad. He collapsed. Ambulance hospital. Please come home. Which hospital? I asked. She mumbled something between cries. Methodist Dallas Medical. I'll be there, I said, without thinking twice. I didn't pack much, just threw a few things in a bag, booked the first flight I could find, and headed for the airport. Didn't even shower. I just kept replaying the words stroke and collapsed in my head. My hands shook the entire flight. 4 hours later, I was stepping out of a rental car in front of my parents' house. The porch light was on, and there was my dad, sitting in air recliner on the porch, wearing his old Cowboys t-shirt, watching TV with a plate of nachos on his lap. I froze on the walkway. Dad. He looked over like he was expecting the mailman. Hey, son. What a pleasant surprise. I blinked. You're what? Are you okay? He chuckled. Of course, I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be? Before I could answer, Mom walked out of the front door holding a dish towel like she'd just finished cleaning the kitchen. Oh, thank God you're here, she said, voice suddenly calm. Calm? I said. You said Dad had a stroke. She waved her hand like I was nitpicking. Well, he had a little episode. He felt dizzy earlier this week, but he's fine now. Doctor said it was nothing serious. I stared at her. You told me he collapsed and was in the hospital. She gave me this fake sweet smile that made me stomach turn. I might have exaggerated a little. I just needed you to come home. It's been months, and you've been acting distant. Exaggerated? I repeated, trying not to lose it. You faked a medical emergency to get me here. Oh, don't be so dramatic, she said, her favorite line. It was the only way to get everyone together again. You never visit anymore. I glanced back at Dad. He looked guilty, but didn't say a word. Just kept chewing his nachos and pretending ESPN was the most important thing in the world. So, you're both in on this? I said. Dad sighed. Your mom just misses you, son. Misses me? I said, laughing in disbelief. You people cut me out of a baby shower, an engagement party, and a wedding. But now, suddenly, I'm family again when there's guilt to hand out. Mom folded her arms. We were just trying to fix things. You left. You're the one who pulled away. I didn't leave, I said. You pushed me out. Here he's narrowed. Oh, don't start with the victim act. You've always been too sensitive. We do one thing wrong, and you hold it forever. One thing? I said. You lied about Dad being in the hospital, Mom. That's not one thing. That's emotional blackmail with a side of insanity. Watch your tone, she snapped. I'm still your mother. And Ed's still fine, I said. Guess the stroke cured itself somewhere between the kitchen and the porch. Her face tightened. You don't have to be sarcastic about it. I just wanted to see you, but didn't want to see my face during an engagement. I said, that's different. For a second, nobody said anything. The only sound was the TV from the porch and a neighbor's dog barking somewhere down the street. I wasn't angry anymore. Not in the yelling sense, anyway. Just drained. Like every word that came out of her mouth was proof she'd rather manipulate me than just be honest. She started to speak again, but I cut her off. Don't. I flew here because I thought Dad was dying. That's not something you spin into a teachable moment. You don't get to use panic as a family reunion strategy. You've changed, she said, shaking her head. Seattle made you cold. I laughed bitterly. No, Mom, you made me cold. Seattle just gave me space to thaw out. Her mouth fell open, but I didn't stick around to hear her next line. I grabbed my bag from the driveway, walked back to my rental, and left. Halfway down the street, I saw her silhouette through the window. She was already on the phone, probably telling the rest of the family how I overreacted again. I didn't care. At the hotel that night, I got a text from Lily. Mom says you yelled at her. You really need to stop being so hard on her. She's doing her best. I didn't reply. I just blocked the number and turned my phone off. Lying in bed, I thought about the whole thing. The fake stroke, the tears, the guilt trip. It was like they were allergic to honesty. They'd rather stage an entire emergency than admit they messed up. That was the night I decided I wasn't going back. Not for Christmas, not for holidays. I was done being the emotional punching bag that they called family. Guess Dad made a full recovery from a stroke he never had. I blocked Mom's number, muted Lily, and stopped responding to any hope you're doing well texts that felt more like bait than care. I'd already started cutting back and the money helped too. But the autopay stuff came later once I found out what they'd really been doing. I wasn't mad anymore. I was just done. About 3 months later, though, I got something in the mail that yanked me right back into their orbit. A thick cream-colored envelope, the kind that practically screams money was wasted on this Lily's wedding invitation. The card said, together with their families, Lily and Tyler invite you to celebrate their union. Together with their families? Yeah, sure. I flipped it open. The invite had all the classic nonsense. Venue, dress code, RSVP, deadline. But what caught my eye was this little lin at the bottom, guests only. No additional attendees, which was their fancy way of saying no +1. My girlfriend Julia and I had been together for over a year by then. She'd met some of my friends, co-workers, everyone but my family, because apparently she wasn't part of the picture. Lily, meanwhile, gave +1s to half the cousins I barely remembered existed. I checked the envelope again to make sure I wasn't missing something. Nope, just me alone, a single line with my name on it. Like a last-minute obligation they couldn't cross off. It was obvious. I wasn't invited because they wanted me there. I was invited so no one could say I wasn't. A prop invite just for optics. I stared at it for a while, debating whether to throw it in the trash or use it as a coaster. Then because I have a bad habit of going for poetic justice, I decided I'd RSVP in my own way. Not by showing up, but by making a point. So I put together a gift. I bought one of those luxury gift boxes, sleek black with gold trim, satin ribbon, magnetic lid. I filled it with tissue paper and slid in one small card, handwritten, "Congrats on finally achieving what Mom always wanted, a family without me in it." No signature, no return address, just that. Then I shipped it express to Lily's house, since venues don't exactly sign for petty deliveries. 3 days later, the explosion started. First came the missed calls. Mom, Lily, Dad, even my younger brother Ryan. Then the texts. How could you be so cruel? Was this supposed to be funny? You embarrassed us. You went too far, man. I ignored all of them. Not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I'd already said everything that mattered in one sentence. By nightfall, the family group chat was apparently on fire. Emma texted me privately saying, "I'm not going to lie, it's chaos down here. Everyone's screaming about your card." Good, I texted back. Maybe they'll read something for once. A few days passed, with radio silence, and honestly, it felt amazing. The piece was loud in the best way. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. "Hey, Josh. It's Mark. Uncle Mark, my mom's older brother, the only family member who'd ever treated me like a person and not a repair project. He was one of those no-nonsense, straight-talking types who never got sucked into family drama. I heard about your little delivery," he said, trying not to laugh. "Oh, so I'm the trending topic this week," I chuckled. "You might have caused a small earthquake. Your mom's been spinning around trying to do damage control. Lily's pretending she's the victim." "Good to know I still make an impact," I said. He got quiet for a second, then sighed. "Look, kid, I'm not going to pretend I didn't laugh when I heard what you did. Hell, it was gutsy. But ich led because I wanted to tell you something. You're not wrong." I leaned back in my chair. "That's a new phrase in this family. I mean it." He said, "Your mom's always been like this, controlling, manipulative. She twists every story until she's the victim. You grew up thinking it was normal, but it's not." Hearing that from him hit different. Mark wasn't the emotional type. He was the kind of guy who fixed broken fences and gave advice and grunts. So for him to say that, it meant something. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel like the crazy own. "Mark," I said, "you're probably going to get dragged into this if you take my side." "Let them drag me," he said flatly. "I'm done watching her rewrite reality, and I'm not saying this lightly, but I'm going to dig a little deeper. I've got a feeling there's more to what she's been doing. Financial stuff, family stuff. She's been hiding things, and I want to see how deep it goes." I didn't even know what to say. "You'd actually do that?" He let out a low laugh. "Kid, your mom's been telling people you distanced yourself because you think you're better than us. I think it's time we showed her who's really been writing the script." I sat there for a second, taking it in. For once, someone in the family wasn't talking to me like I was ungrateful or oversensitive. They were talking like they saw it too. "Thanks, Mark," I said quietly. "Don't thank me yet," he said. "I'm just getting started." Before hanging up, he added, "You're not crazy. Josh, you've just been the only sane one in a house full of people pretending." That line stuck with me long after the call ended because it was the first time in years someone in my family said I wasn't crazy. That phone call from Uncle Mark stayed on repeat in my head 4 days. I didn't realize how badly I'd needed to hear anyone say those words. He wasn't emotional about it either, just calm and certain, which somehow made it hit even harder. A week later, I got a message from him. "Check your email. You'll want to see this." No explanation, just that. When I opened the attachments, I had to read them twice. He'd sent screenshots from the family group chat. Apparently, he'd been quietly added to the family-only thread that I'd been excluded from. The first screenshot was from a few months before Lily's engagement party, the one I wasn't supposed to know about. Mom sent, "Don't tell him the date. He'll book Afflight." He always does. Then another line from a few days later. "He left you alone here in Dallas, so why should I include him? He made his choice." She said it like I'd moved across the country just to spite her. There were dozens more messages, snide comments, little digs that built up into a full-character assassination from Mom. Mom sent, "He'll find out and make it about himself anyway." "He always does," Ryan replied. "What do we tell people when Hesks say he's busy? That's always true enough." It was like watching my own family build a group project to erase me. Then came the recordings. Mark had caught wind that my mom was planning a family dinner at his house, one of those obligatory monthly get-togethers, and decided to set his phone on record. Didn't ask why he did it. I just hit play. You could hear the clinking of plates, casual small talk, and then my mom's voice, loud and proud. He left us, went chasing his little city dream, doesn't even care what happens here anymore. I'm done pretending he's part of this family. She added, he chose distance, so let him stay distant. The less he knows, the better. That last part made my chest tighten. The tone wasn't angry. It was satisfied. Like she'd already convinced herself I was disposable. I sat there staring at my laptop screen in silence. It wasn't even anger anymore. It was the weird mix of shock and confirmation. Like finding physical proof that the gut feeling you've been ignoring for years was right all along. A few hours later, Mark called. You saw it, huh? Well, he said. Yeah, I replied quietly. Every word. Well, he said. I'm not letting it slide. I've got the whole family coming over for dinner Sunday. She'll be there. I'm going to play the recording. Mark, I said, you don't have to do that. It'll just start a war. He laughed dryly. Kid, that war started the day she decided to lie about you. I'm just showing everyone who fired the first shot. I didn't try to stop him. Sunday night around 9:00 p.m., I got a text from Emma. Your uncle just dropped a bomb. Then she sent me a long message describing what went down. Apparently, they were all sitting around the table. Mom, Dad, Lily, Ryan, a couple cousins. Normal family dinner vibes. Everyone laughing, eating, pretending they weren't half miserable. Then Mark Cleared exposed everything Emma said. The whole table went dead silent. He heard out some of the chat messages too. The ones where they mocked me and made up excuses to exclude me. When it ended, he looked straight at my mom and said, You've turned this family against your own son. You made him out to be the problem when all he ever did was show up. According to Emma, Mom's face wintered. She stammered something like, You had no right to go through our messages. Mark didn't back down. You had no right to manipulate everyone either. He deserved to know the truth, we all did. Ryan tried to defend her, saying, Mark, you don't understand how hard it's been for Mom. He cut her off. No, I understand perfectly. She lies, you believe her. And he takes the fall. That's been the pattern for years. Mom grabbed her purse and stormed out. Lily followed, dragging Ryan with her. Dinner ended early. That was the moment I knew I was done for good. Not angry. Done this time. Resolved. Done. I went through my bank app and canceled every auto payment I'd been covering for them. Internet bill, car insurance, help. That Trandom loan, Lily never paid back. Gone. I sent one final text to Mom, short and sharp. You don't have to worry about me sending money anymore. You wanted to raise me? You've got it. No reply. Instead, a few hours later, Ryan texted, You're making Mom cry. She's heartbroken. This is all so necessary. I didn't respond because, for once, it really wasn't my problem. I wasn't their ATM, their guilt target, or their backup scapegoat anymore. Mark texted later that night, You did the right thing. Sometimes cutting people off is the only way to make them notice. They've already lost you. He was right. That was the night I stopped trying to fix a family that never wanted me fixed in the first place. A few days later, he got an email from my dad's work account. Not the joint one Mom usually controlled, but his. The subject line just said, Hey, I know I don't deserve a response, but I owe you an apology. Don't let things go too far. Can we talk? No interruptions, just you and me. I stared at it for a minute before replying, Okay. That night, I opened the video call expecting excuses. Instead, he looked exhausted, pale, shoulders slumped, eyes heavy. Hey, kiddo, he said, voice cracking a little. Hey, Dad. We sat there in silence for a while before he said, I've been a coward. He didn't dress it up. I let your mother run everything. I thought staying quiet meant keeping the family together, but I didn't keep anything together. I just let her destroy it piece by piece. I didn't say anything, just waited. He sighed. I knew she twisted things about you. I let it happen because it was easier than fighting her. That's on me. She faked a medical emergency. I said, You know that, right? You sat on the porch watching TV while I was flying and thinking you were dying. He nodded slowly. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize what she told you until later. She used money I sent for your dialysis on a party I wasn't invited to. He swallowed hard. I didn't know that either. God, Josh, I failed you. I wasn't emotional, just calm. You didn't just fail me. You helped her erase me. He looked down, eyes glassy. I can't undo that, but I can stop enabling her now. I'm leaving. I froze. You're serious? I already packed a bag. I told her I need space. I'm staying with Mark for now, but I'd like to come see you if you'll have me. It was the first time he'd ever asked me anything instead of telling me. I nodded. Come to Seattle. We'll figure it out. A week later, he was at my doorstep with a single suitcase. No dramatic hug, no speech, just, Hey, I thought maybe your sink could use fixing. Turns out he was right. For days, he stayed busy fixing small things. Squeaky hinges, a wobbly table leg, the loose outlet cover I'd ignored for months. He never brought up Mom. He just worked quietly, like each repair was a confession. We ate takeout on the couch that first night. He said, I thought keeping your mom happy made me a good husband. Turns out it just made me a lousy father. I didn't answer. He already knew. The next morning, we went to a hardware store. Hess spent an hour debating which drill was the reliable kind. It felt normal, something we'd never really had before. A few days in, he started opening up, told stories I'd never heard about his first job, about how he used to draw house plans on napkins before he met Mom, said he understood why I loved architecture now. For the first time in my life, I saw who he was without her shadow hanging over him. Then Ryan texted, "I didn't realize Dad actually left. I'm sorry, man. I didn't get it before. I thought you were exaggerating. It wasn't a long message, but it was something." I told him, "Thanks." Then Lily messaged, "You split up Mom and Dad. Hope you're happy." I replied, "They split themselves. I just stopped pretending." She left me on red. That night, Dad got an email from Mom. He read it aloud. "I don't understand why you're doing this. If you felt hurt, that's on you for misinterpreting my intentions. I only ever did what's best for this family. You've let outsiders poison you." I snorted. "She really wrote that?" He nodded. "Yeah, same script, different day. She's allergic to the word accountability," I said. He smiled a little. "Guess I finally built up immunity." We didn't fix the past, but we started fixing things that actually held weight. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like the kid who got left out of everything. I just felt like a man with a father who finally showed up. Life in Seattle settled into something peaceful. Then out of nowhere, that peace got interrupted one Thursday afternoon when someone buzzed my apartment door. When I checked the camera, it was Lily standing there with a suitcase. No warning, no text, nothing. I opened the door and she gave this awkward half smile. Hey, I sighed slowly. "You're about 2,000 in my early for Christmas." She huffed out a laugh. Then her eyes started to water. "Can I come in?" I told her yes. We sat down and for a full minute, she just stared at her hands. Finally, she said, "I didn't tell Mom I was coming. She'd lose it." I raised an eyebrow. "Then why are you here?" She looked up, eyes glassy. "Because I need to say sorry for all of it." I didn't say anything, so she kept going. "Mom told me not to invite you to the baby shower, to the engagement party, the wedding, everything. She said it'd cause drama if you came." I believed her. "I thought you didn't care anymore." I leaned back. "And you didn't think maybe I'd want to decide that myself?" She nodded quickly. "I know I messed up. I was stupid. I just wanted to keep things easy, and she made it sound like you were the one who left us." Her voice cracked. But I didn't rush to comfort her. I wasn't angry anymore. Just done of letting people get away with not knowing better. "You knew she was lying," I said calmly. "Maybe not at first, but you knew. You saw how she twisted things. You let her." She nodded, silent tears running down her cheeks. "You're right. I didn't want to deal with her. It was easier to let her run the show." "That's the problem," I said. "Everyone let her. For years, you all made me the villain because it kept her happy." She nodded again, gripping a tissue. "I know, and I'm done letting her drag everyone down. I came to tell you that. You don't have to forgive me, but I'm taking responsibility this time." For a moment, neither of us said anything. I just nodded. That's all I wanted. Accountability. Later that night, after she left for her hotel, my phone buzzed. It was a screenshot from Emma. The family chat was on fire again. Lily sent, "I need to say something. Mom lied about a lot of things. She told us not to include Josh in anything. She said he didn't care, but that wasn't true. I went to see him. I saw how wrong I was." Mom replied, "Lily, stop embarrassing this family. You're being manipulated." "No, Mom, I'm finally not being manipulated." Then Mark jumped in like a true legend and supported Lily. Mom finally replied, "I don't need to justify myself to a bunch of ungrateful people. Enjoy your little group therapy session. I'm done." And she left the chat just like that. Lily texted me privately after. She blocked me, but it's okay. I feel lighter. I smiled at the screen. Good. Welcome to freedom. A few days later, Dad told me Mom had been calling him nonstop. He didn't answer. Then she started emailing me. The first one was just her trying to sound calm. "I can't believe you've turned everyone against me. I gave you everything. You've twisted the truth. You're breaking this family apart." The second one got meaner. "You'll regret humiliating your own mother. You've poisoned Lily and your father. I hope you're proud." And the last one, short, like she'd finally run out of steam, just said, "You've changed." I typed my reply, slowly, reading it over twice before hitting send. "I didn't leave the family, Mom. You pushed me out because I grew up. Enjoy the silence you created." I sent it and closed the laptop. No skin gang, no regret, just relief. Dad read it later and nodded. "She'll never admit it, you know." "I know," I said, "but that's not my problem anymore." Weeks passed. Life didn't magically become perfect, but it became men again. Dad decided to rent a small place a few blocks away. Mark visited, once bringing steaks and beer replacements, because we're celebrating clean. He toasted to truth finally winning around. Mom, she stayed in Dallas. I heard Shetry to start a new family-only chat, but no one joined. Guess it's hard to control people once they've stopped needing your approval. One night, I went out to the balcony, looked out over Thessaly lights, and realized something wild. For the first time, my peace didn't feel temporary. I didn't miss the noise. I didn't miss the fake apologies or the guilt trips or the "you've changed" lines. I didn't even miss being included. What I had now was better. Silence. The good kind. The earned kind. And I plan to enjoy it exactly like I told her to. The silence she created. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube, this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your